Welcome to CodePro channel. In this video, I will show you how to make an API call in JavaScript. Here, I am showing 4 different ways to make an API call in JavaScript. In JavaScript, it was really important to know about how to make HTTP request and retrieve data from the database or server. JavaScript provides some built-in browser objects and some external open source libraries to interact with the APIs. Here are the all possible ways to make an API call in JavaScript. In this, the first two are browser built-in objects. We can use it directly, the XML, HTTP request and fetch API. And the second two are third-party JavaScript libraries that we need to import it to make an HTTP request from the browser. Let's dive into the code, how it will work. The first one is the XML HTTP request. Before ES6 comes out into the market, the only way to make HTTP request in the JavaScript is XML HTTP request. It is a browser built-in object that allows you to make an HTTP request from the browser. So how to check the browser built-in objects? Just console it, console.log of window. You can see the property in the window like XML HTTP request. It was added as a global property for that. We can use it directly. So how can we make the request? First we need to create an object for that. Constant request equal to new XML HTTP request. Now I need to open the request. For that, request.openOf, it accepts two parameters. The first one is the what type of method you want to perform. The first one is the get, and the second thing is URL. In this tutorial, I am using JSON placeholder to make an HTTP request from the browser. Just copying, paste. Now I just made an open a request. I need to send the request.send. Just you can see I have sent the request already, but I am seeing the response in the network tab, but I just want to see it in the console tab. So that's why to get the data in the console, you need to use request.onload method. Request.onload equal to it's the function. Just you need to here I am going to check that what the request object is. Here you can see the request object. I am seeing the response. I am able to see the response text and I am able to see the status also. It is very important to know the status. Based on status, we need to write a condition that request.status equal to 200. Then the request was success and we get the data. If the request was failure, then the response status will be different. Now you can see the data was in the text format. It was not in a JSON format. By default, the XML HTTP request return the data in text format. You need to convert the data into the JSON by using JSON.parse. Now you can see this is the JSON data. How to handle the errors actually. So now the request was success, you are okay, but how to handle the error? So now you can see I am just using in the else block console.log of error request.status. If the status was other than 200, the request was failure for my scenario. Now you can see the request was success. Now I am making the changes to the my URL. It was not existed. Now you can see error was 404. If the URL was not found, it will return a 404. Then the else block will be executed. Now you can see the request object what it is now. If you see the request object, the status will be 404 now. So other than 200, I am considering that as failure. That's why I am showing it as failure in the console. By this way, we can make HTTP request from the browser by using XML HTTP request. The second way to make an API call by using JavaScript is fetch API. Fetch allows you to make an HTTP request in a similar manner as XML HTTP request, but with a straightforward interface by using promises. It's not supported by older browsers, but it can be polyfilled, but very well supported among the modern ones. We can make the API call by using fetch in two ways. The first one is the fetch API was the browser built-in API. I'm not calling that as object because it is an API, it is a method kind of thing. Just you can see it in the console window dot. If you scroll down to bottom, just you can see that the fetch API was added as a global property in the window object so that we can use it directly without window object also. Just you can see how I am using that. Just window.fetch. You can use it like this or else you can directly use that fetch of. It accepts two parameters. The first one is the URL, you need to pass it. The second one is optional, you cannot pass if don't worry. Just you need to pass the URL, and by default fetch returns the promise. That's why I am using dot then to get that response from that. You can see console.log of response. The response was success, the status is 200, but the data was not in the readable format. That's why we need to convert that into a JSON format by using return statement response.json. By default it also written a promise, so I am using again then. Now I am getting the response as a JSON, console.log of JSON. You can see now the data was in JSON format we can use, and you can see the fetch API was requested by fetch.js, and before that it was sent the request with XHR XML HTTP request API. We can use the fetch API in two ways, like this is second approach by using async and await. Also a function that start with async, then only we can use await in the function. Now I am making await of fetch, again same URL I am passing, let data equal to response.json. So async and await was introduced in ES7 or ES8. Return data. Now again it return a promise, just you need to dot, then you need to execute that dot, then response console.log of response. Fetch API is very powerful. We can easily send AJAX requests using the browser fetch API. The major disadvantage of fetch API is error handling. The third way to make an API call by using JavaScript is by using third-party JavaScript library called Axios. Axios is an open source library for making HTTP requests and provides some great features, and it works both browser and Node.js also. It is a promise-based HTTP client that can be used in plain JavaScript and advanced frameworks like React, Vue.js and Angular also. It supports all modern browsers including support for IE8 and higher. To use the fetch API, we need to include that in our script file. For that, I am just using cdn.js link for that. Here I am searching for Axios library. Here I am just copying that URL and I am pasting it in my script tag of my HTML page. Here script tag src equal to Axios, that URL. Now what will happen is when you place that URL, the Axios object will be placed as a global object. Let me show you in the window object console.log of window. Now you can see in the window Axios was added as a global property. Now I can use it globally. Axios.get, you need to pass the URL, whatever the URL you want to request it. Now it by default it returns a promise dot, then response. There is no need of second step here like fetch API, directly it will return the response. Now you can see something was wrong, like I need to place the script tag at top of the my.js file. Now you can see the request was sent and the data, it will return response like this. Now I need to do console.log response.data. Now you can see the data was in JSON format. You can see even Axios was built on top of XML HTTP request. You can see in the network tab, and the error callback function will be there. It will throw an error if something was went wrong, like I have made a URL wrong, that's why it was throwing an error. It will go to the error block. By this way we can use Axios. The fourth and final approach is by using jQuery. jQuery has many methods to handle asynchronous HTTP requests. In order to use jQuery, we need to include the source file of jQuery. That's why I am adding cdn link in my same like Axios script tag src equal to jQuery file. Now I can able to use that jQuery. Now you can see the window object here, console.log of window. Now the dollar property was added as a global property here. You can see the dollar property. Now I can able to send the request by using $.ajax. First of all, I am using $document.ready function because I just want to make the request once the document was loaded completely. So that's why $.ajax. Here it accepts the first one is the URL, whatever the URL you want to request, and next one is the type, what type of method you want to perform, get operation, and the third one is success callback. This is the function. When the API was success, then the response will be sent in success callback function. You can see the result. And the fourth one is, you can see error callback. Error This is also same like function. It will return an error if something went wrong. Function error. Now you can see the response in JSON format directly. In earlier days, most of them they will use jQuery to make an HTTP request. Other than Fetch API, all other modules built on top of XML HTTP request. Let's conclude it. Most of the real-time applications are using Axios to make HTTP request from the browser. Axios is very easy and open source library for making HTTP requests. I have covered the most of the popular ways to make an HTTP request from the JavaScript. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Please like.